Anita and Me is a semi-autobiographical novel written by British author Meera Syal. Published in 1996, the novel is set in the fictional British Midlands village of Tollington in the 1960s and follows the story of Meena Kumar, a young British Asian girl, and her friendship with a local girl named Anita Rutter. Key themes and elements: cultural identity and belonging. The novel explores Meena's struggle to reconcile her Indian heritage with her British upbringing. It delves into themes of cultural identity, belonging, and the challenges of growing up between two cultures. Racism and prejudice. Syal addresses the casual racism and prejudice that Meena and her family face in their predominantly white village. The novel highlights the impact of these experiences on Meena's sense of self and her relationships. Friendship and loyalty. The complex friendship between Meena and Anita is central to the story. Anita's rebellious nature and troubled family life contrast with Meena's more sheltered and traditional upbringing, leading to both conflict and growth for the characters. Family and community. The novel portrays the close-knit Indian community in Tollington and the support system it provides for Meena and her family. It also contrasts this with the dynamics of Anita's dysfunctional family. Coming of age. Anita and Me is a coming-of-age story that captures Meena's journey from childhood to adolescence, marked by moments of joy, confusion, and self-discovery. Plot summary. The story is narrated by Meena Kumar, a bright and curious young girl of Indian descent. Meena lives with her parents, who are immigrants from India, and navigates life in a predominantly white working-class village. She befriends Anita Rutter, a tough and rebellious local girl who becomes a significant influence in her life. As Meena gets closer to Anita, she becomes exposed to a world very different from her own. Anita's family is chaotic and neglectful, and her behavior often gets them both into trouble. Despite this, Meena is drawn to Anita's boldness and the excitement she brings. Throughout the novel, Meena grapples with her cultural identity, dealing with the racism and ignorance of those around her while trying to fit in. She also begins to see the flaws in Anita and the reality of their friendship. The story culminates in a series of events that force Meena to confront who she is and where she belongs. Adaptations. Film adaptation. Anita and Me was adapted into a film in 2002, directed by Medan Hussain, with Meera Syal herself writing the screenplay. The film stars Chandeep Uppal as Meena and Anna Brewster as Anita. Stage adaptation. The novel has also been adapted for the stage, further cementing its place in contemporary British literature and its exploration of multicultural identity. Significance. Anita and Me is celebrated for its humorous and heartfelt portrayal of a young girl's coming-of-age journey against the backdrop of 1960s Britain. It offers valuable insights into the experiences of British Asian families and the universal themes of growing up, friendship, and identity. Anita and Me by Meera Syal presents several key arguments that explore themes of cultural identity, racism, friendship, and the immigrant experience in 1960s Britain. Here are the main arguments with examples from the novel. 1. The struggle for cultural identity. Argument. Meena's struggle to reconcile her Indian heritage with her British upbringing highlights the difficulties of maintaining a dual cultural identity. Example. Meena often feels caught between two worlds. At home, she speaks Punjabi and adheres to traditional customs, while at school, she tries to fit in with her British classmates. This duality is evident when she participates in village events but feels out of place due to her family's different cultural practices. Her internal conflict is symbolized by her attempts to anglicize herself to gain acceptance, such as changing her name to sound more English. 2. The impact of racism and prejudice. Argument. The novel illustrates the pervasive racism and prejudice faced by immigrant families and its impact on their sense of belonging and identity. Example. Meena's family frequently encounters casual racism from their neighbors. This is exemplified by the derogatory remarks and stereotypes they endure. A particularly poignant moment is when Meena overhears her friend Anita's mother, Mrs. Rutter, making racist comments, which shocks and hurts her. These experiences shape Meena's awareness of her otherness and the social barriers her family faces. 3. The complexity of friendship. Argument. The friendship between Meena and Anita reveals the complexities and power dynamics in relationships influenced by cultural and social differences. Example. Anita's influence on Meena is both positive and negative. While Anita introduces Meena to new experiences and a sense of adventure, she also leads her into trouble and exposes her to the harsh realities of her dysfunctional family life. The relationship becomes a means for Meena to explore her own identity, but it also forces her to confront the prejudices and contradictions in Anita's behavior. This duality is highlighted when Meena starts to see the flaws in Anita and the toxic aspects of their friendship. 4. The role of family and community. Argument. The strong sense of family and community among the Indian immigrants provides a support system that contrasts with the instability in Anita's family. Example. Meena's family is portrayed as loving and supportive, with strong ties to their cultural heritage. Family gatherings, traditional celebrations, and community support play a significant role in Meena's upbringing. In contrast, Anita's family is depicted as chaotic and neglectful, with a lack of emotional support and stability. This contrast underscores the different values and sources of strength in Meena's life compared to Anita's. 5. The immigrant experience. Argument. The novel offers a nuanced portrayal of the immigrant experience, highlighting both the challenges and the resilience of immigrant families. Example. Meena's parents' efforts to provide a better life for their children despite facing economic hardships and societal discrimination reflect the broader immigrant experience. Their determination to maintain their cultural identity while adapting to a new environment is a recurring theme. The novel also addresses the generational differences in how Meena and her parents navigate their identities and aspirations, illustrating the complexities of the immigrant experience. Conclusion. Anita and Me is a rich narrative that delves into the intricacies of growing up as a British Asian in a predominantly white village. Through Meena's experiences, Meera Syal effectively argues that cultural identity, racism, friendship, and family are interwoven in shaping one's sense of self and belonging. The novel's exploration of these themes provides a profound commentary on the immigrant experience and the universal challenges of adolescence. Here are additional arguments with examples that delve deeper into the themes and messages of Anita and Me. 6. The influence of environment on identity formation. Argument. The environment in which Meena grows up significantly influences her identity formation, highlighting the impact of societal and cultural contexts on personal development. Example. Tollington, the village where Meena lives, is a microcosm of 1960s British society, marked by its insularity and resistance to change. The village's predominantly white population is unaccustomed to cultural diversity, which exacerbates Meena's feelings of alienation. The local schools' curriculum and the attitudes of teachers and peers often marginalize Meena, forcing her to navigate her identity within a hostile environment. This is evident when Meena tries to fit in by adopting behaviors and speech patterns of her British peers, only to realize that her efforts are not enough to overcome ingrained prejudices. 7. The conflict between tradition and modernity. Argument. The novel explores the tension between traditional values and modern aspirations, particularly within immigrant families trying to balance cultural preservation with adaptation. Example. Meena's parents embody the traditional values of their Indian heritage, emphasizing education, respect, and community. However, Meena, influenced by her peers and the broader British culture, often finds herself at odds with these values. This is evident in scenes where Meena resists attending cultural events or feels embarrassed by her parents' customs, such as when they wear traditional Indian clothing in public. The tension between her parents' expectations and her desire to assimilate into modern British society creates a significant source of conflict in Meena's life. 8. The role of gender in cultural expectations. Argument. Gender plays a crucial role in shaping the expectations and experiences of characters, particularly in the context of cultural norms and societal pressures. Example. Meena's experiences as a young girl are shaped by the gender expectations of both her Indian culture and the British society she inhabits. Her parents have high expectations for her to excel academically and uphold family honor, which often contrasts with the more lenient expectations placed on her brother. Additionally, Meena observes the limited opportunities and roles available to women in her community, such as her mother's traditional role as a homemaker. This awareness influences Meena's aspirations and her desire to challenge these gender norms. 9. The intersection of personal and collective history. Argument. The novel examines how personal histories intersect with collective historical events, shaping individual identities and community dynamics. Example. Meena's personal narrative is intertwined with the broader history of post-war Britain, including the migration of Indian families and the social changes of the 1960s. The collective experiences of the Indian community in Tollington, such as their shared struggles and resilience, provide a backdrop to Meena's individual story. The novel also references historical Events, such as the rise of the National Front and racial tensions, which impact Meena's understanding of her place in British society. 10. The power of storytelling and memory. Argument. Storytelling and memory play pivotal roles in preserving cultural heritage and shaping individual identity. Example. Throughout the novel, Meena's parents and other community members share stories from their past, which serve as a means of preserving their cultural heritage and imparting lessons to the younger generation. Meena's mother, in particular, tells stories of their life in India, which helps Meera connect with her roots and understand her family's history. Additionally, Meena's own narration of her childhood memories highlights the importance of storytelling in making sense of one's experiences and identity. 11. Resilience and adaptability in the face of adversity. Argument. The novel underscores the resilience and adaptability of immigrant families as they navigate the challenges of a new environment. Example. Meena's family demonstrates remarkable resilience in the face of economic hardship, social isolation, and racism. Her parents work hard to provide for their family and maintain their cultural traditions despite the pressures to assimilate. This resilience is particularly evident when they organize and celebrate Indian festivals, creating a sense of community and continuity in a foreign land. Meera herself exhibits adaptability as she learns to navigate the dual pressures of her Indian and British identities, ultimately finding a way to reconcile both. Conclusion. Anita and Me is a multi-layered novel that addresses numerous themes relevant to identity, culture, and society. By exploring these additional arguments, the novel provides a comprehensive look at the complexities of growing up as an immigrant in a culturally diverse but often unwelcoming environment. Meera Syal's work offers valuable insights into the challenges and triumphs of finding one's place in a multicultural world. Racism is a pervasive theme in Anita and Me, as Meera and her family face various forms of discrimination and prejudice in their predominantly white village. Here are some examples of racism depicted in the novel. Racial slurs and stereotypes. Throughout the novel, characters use racial slurs and stereotypes to refer to Meera and her family. For example, Meena's classmates mock her by calling her Paki, a derogatory term used against people of South Asian descent. This demonstrates the casual racism that Meera faces in her daily life. Exclusion and isolation. Meera often feels excluded and isolated because of her race. In one scene, she describes how her classmates avoid sitting next to her or invite her to their homes, highlighting the social exclusion she experiences due to her ethnicity. Microaggressions. Meera encounters microaggressions, subtle but offensive comments or actions, that reflect underlying racist attitudes. For instance, when Mrs. Rudder, Anita's mother, makes remarks about curry smells coming from Meera's house, it reflects a stereotypical view of Indian cuisine and culture. Institutional racism. The novel also touches on institutional racism, where systems and institutions perpetuate racial inequalities. For example, Meena's experiences at school, where she is often overlooked or treated unfairly by teachers, reflect the institutional barriers faced by racial minorities. Violent racism. While not a central focus of the novel, there are instances where racism escalates to violence. For example, there are references to the National Front, a far-right political group known for its racist ideology, which creates a climate of fear and tension for Meera and her family. Overall, Anita and Me portrays racism as a pervasive and damaging force that shapes Meera's experiences and highlights the challenges faced by individuals from ethnic minority backgrounds in a predominantly white society. Through Meera's story, the novel sheds light on the impact of racism on personal identity, social interactions, and community dynamics. Here are more examples of racism depicted in Anita and Me. Educational discrimination. Meera faces discrimination in her education, reflecting broader systemic issues. Teachers often overlook her academic achievements or dismiss her contributions in class, indicating biased attitudes based on her race. Employment discrimination. The novel hints at employment discrimination faced by Meera's father and other immigrants. Despite his qualifications and skills, Meera's father struggles to find stable employment, suggesting barriers to economic opportunities based on race. Social exclusion. Meera and her family are often excluded from social events and gatherings in the village. This exclusion is based on racial prejudices and stereotypes, highlighting the social barriers faced by ethnic minorities in predominantly white communities. Bullying and harassment. Meera experiences bullying and harassment from her peers, who taunt her with racist remarks and jokes. This behavior creates a hostile environment for Meera, affecting her mental well-being and sense of belonging. Police discrimination. The novel alludes to discrimination by the police, as Meera's family feels unfairly targeted or treated with suspicion based on their race. This reflects broader issues of racial profiling and unequal treatment within the criminal justice system. Normalization of racism. One of the most insidious forms of racism in the novel is its normalization. Racist attitudes and behaviors are often shrugged off or ignored, perpetuating a culture of prejudice and discrimination. Impact on self-identity. The constant exposure to racism has a profound impact on Meera's self-identity. She struggles to reconcile her Indian heritage with the negative perceptions and treatment she receives, leading to a complex relationship with her cultural identity. Community response. The novel also explores how the community responds to racism. While some individuals challenge racist attitudes, others remain complicit or actively participate in discriminatory behavior, highlighting the complexities of addressing racism at a societal level. These examples illustrate the multifaceted nature of racism depicted in Anita and Me, and its impact on individuals, communities, and society at large. The novel offers a poignant commentary on the enduring effects of racism and the importance of confronting and dismantling prejudiced attitudes.